Hi everyone. So today we're going to look at making your own washi tape. I haven't been a fan of washi tape up until now, but I think it does have its place in card making. So here we have one which I've done a simple washi tape down. I've then put a wider one behind it and an even wider one behind that. So washi tape comes in all different widths. Some of them are considerably wide, but this is just a simple graphic and brought up with the colours to make an attractive border. Right, this was commercial washi tape, and I believe it was Martha Stewart tape. And what I've done is a couple of toning pieces of washi tape at the base and a couple of pieces at the top. But then I've taken the washi tape and I've gone around my topper and I've just put some dried flowers and things and a seal. Now, the dried flowers I'm going to do next week for the tutorial, and the seal will follow shortly afterwards. So it's beautiful weather here in the UK today, and it's a good chance to go out and pick a few grass heads, little wildflowers, but only take a few, and then just pop them between pages of an old book that you're not going to use, and just rest something heavy on top. So that's what we'll be looking at next week. And the seals, all different ways of using seals, a little bit later on. So this is another one, but this is made of handmade washi tape. So I've done 3 different widths of the tape and gone in 2 different directions. Your washi tape is really picking up the colours that you're going to use in your design on the front. So let's have a look how I've done these. Okay. So I've picked out a few pieces of card that you'll have in your stash. Okay, and this is the topper that I've chosen to go with all my papers. So I'm going to do 3 different colours of washi tape in different thicknesses, and we're going to mount it onto a 15 centimetre or 6-inch square card. So let's pop that to one side while we work on these. Now, the first thing I've got is a piece of backing paper, and this one we're going to take double-sided tape, edge of your paper. You don't need the full length, but I'm going to do it anyway. And at the moment, I'm going to prepare 2 lengths of that. Okay, so I can now take scissors or my trimmer or knife, whatever you're used to using. And I'm going to just trim down using the double-sided tape as my cutting guide. Let's redo that one. That's better. So let's have a look. We need to take a bit more off this one. So it doesn't matter if your washi tape isn't, your double-sided tape isn't straight, because you're then going to use the knife to make it straight. So there I have 2 pieces that are just the same as washi tape. So let's have a look at the next one. I've got a green one. Now I need to decide, am I going to use more green? And I think as there's not much green showing, I'm just going to make a very narrow one for this. So turn the texture down. And once again, the double-sided along there. Now I'm going to do something slightly different in that I've got a thinner tape here, and that is a stronger adhesive, but you can use anything. I'm just using the fact that it's a thinner tape. Press it down, and then I'm going to take my ruler and cut myself the narrow strip there. So there I've got a narrow washi tape. Do the other one this side, but this time I'm going to move over and cut an extra strip there. And I can even go to a very fine strip. Look at that. And the beauty of it is because we've put the double-sided on already, it's taped right along the back. So let's go for another one. So now we've got another nice thin one. Right, so I want to bring in the brown that matches this part of the topper. So let's have a look. The texture, it's got a linen texture time, so I'm putting that downwards. And I'm going to put, I think, 2 strips onto there. Now I've got sort of medium pieces, I've got smaller pieces and even thinner pieces. So I'm going to go for some medium pieces again. So at the moment my blue is my predominant colour. So that can go aside. I can cut loads more from that. So we're going to just work with these and see how we go. Let's turn them face up. Now, washi tape normally comes with adhesive on the back, so the strips that we've made here from just what we have in our stash are just the same as what you would buy from your normal suppliers. So I'm going to look here at this bit. Now I think what I'm going to do is do a design across the middle, and we'll see where we go from there. So here's my first strip, and this is the widest strip. So I don't need to peel the whole lot off because I can keep that. I'm going to work on a large strip, I think. So pull it out and then just trim it off neatly flush with either side. So bring your design in and just check that it's going to look right. Now I'm going to bring in my green. Now I can decide whether I butt that straight up to there or whether I leave a white edge. So I think I'm going to butt that up tightly up against my design. So leave it hanging over one edge and tightly push this up to meet. So let's get my scissors in. You can use scissors or a knife. Sorry, that went off screen. So there I have that one there. I can put another one. The whole thing is that you play around. That's going to look pretty. And build it up as you go. Don't expect to know the whole design as when you start. So the only colour I haven't brought in at the moment is the brown. So, I could bring that. I think I might put. There we go. I think let's bring that in so that we can see what is going on with the design. What about if we go down the outside? Be nice. So I'm going to bring in blue again. And I'm looking how far I brought it in on there. And we're going to crisscross there. All your bits to one side. Now, I think we're going to go this one with the brown coming either side. Bringing it down so that there's no white gap. Oops. And flush with the edge. Always keep these going flush while you're doing it. Don't wait until the end. Placing that tight up against there. Right, now I've got these two very, very thin pieces. And now I'm going to use the white showing in the middle. So I think I'll go to that side. It would be extremely difficult to stick this down if you hadn't got the double-sided tape on already. Here we go. So I'm going to soften that edge. There. Take off your excess pieces, and then we're coming in with this piece here. So you can see that you can go on and do as many extra bits as you want. So this one, I'm coming to the underneath side. there is our design. Now I can bring in my topper, and when I put my topper on, we've now got all the colours that are being pulled out. Okay, now the only thing I haven't got is the orange, and I think I'm going to get a little bit of orange ribbon and just put that through my tag so that the orange is pulled out as well. So now I've got my bright orange ribbon, and we're going to pop the little hole out. And then I'm going to pop that up through, open it out, and just pull the ribbon through. So cut the pieces, the little tails off at a slant, and then we're going to put double-sided tape across the back, and I'm putting it so it catches the ribbon as well. You could put it on sticky fixers if you wanted to. I'm just going to go straight onto the card. And turn that, and then if you want to, you can just trim those bits down a little bit further. So let's have a quick clear up. So there is my tag that we've used for inspiration as to cutting your own washi tapes, and that's just from stuff in your stash that matches the colours. Okay, so that's straight lines in different widths. This is straight lines all from one piece of pretty paper, and those are all different widths. This was commercially made washi tape, and we've just lined that up, but it's exactly as it was printed. And this one here is 2 strips of washi tape, but instead of being laid side by side, they've been laid up on top of one another. So smallest first, going down to the outside. Okay, now we're going to have a look at a totally different way of using the washi tape. Still going to make our own, but this one we're going to make a washi tape beach hut. So tidy up there, so we've got a nice clean surface to work on, and we're going to make our own beach hut. So the main beach hut is going to be made out of this light coloured card, and our washi tape strips are going to come out from this wood plank. Now what I've done onto this one, because I use quite a bit of wood plank paper, I've actually put a whole sheet of double-sided tape, double-sided adhesive onto the back, because I know I will use eventually every one of these little planks. Okay, so I'll pop that to one side for the moment. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to measure and cut 6.5 centimetres by 7.5 to make the front of our beach hut. That's not going to go in there, so I need this one to be 7.5 by 6.5. That is going to be the front of my beach hut, and I've done a basic background here to start off. Okay. Then we're going to take a piece here, and we're going to do 8 centimetres We're going to do an 8 centimetre square. Right, this is going to make 4 roofs. So we're going to turn it so that the points, we can cut point to point. And you're going to turn that round, put it up against there. You can do this with scissors, trimmer, anything that you find easiest. So I now have 4 roofs and I'm going to put 3 away. But when we look at them, we can see that on 2 of the roofs, the wood is going upright, and on 2 of the roofs, it's going across. So I'm going to take one that's going upright, put the others away for another card, and we're going to fix on a beach hut. It's going to be level with the bottom, and then this one here we're going to prepare ready to go on. Now if you have double-sided tape that is too long, simply take it off and poke the edges in. Hold the edges so that you've got nothing coming out, and this one will go onto here, and we want it so that it overhangs a little bit either side. Okay, so that's what they do. Right, we now need to do some other bits on there. So first of all, we need a door. So our door is going to be 3 centimetres wide and 6 centimetres long. All of these are able to be changed to what you want to prepare your beach hut. You can have different coloured doors, you can have different sizes, you can have doors with portholes in, you can do whatever you like, and the more you do the beach huts and get familiar with them, the more ideas you'll have. So what we're going to do now is I want to put some of our washi tape strips onto here to do the panels. Now I've got all sorts on here, different sizes, different colours. So I'm going to take this one, which is a palish colour on here, and I can make it whatever width I want. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than it is. So I'm lining up my ruler and I'm going to bring down there. Now the whole sheet, because I use an awful lot of this sort of paper, I've put double-sided adhesive over the whole lot. Okay, because I know I will use that all up. So I have my little plank. And I want to start putting my panels going down my beach hut. So I'm going to do one at the very edge. Put it across. One at the very edge. This one. Now I'm going to do one in the middle. Remember that this one will be visible right the way to the top. So 3 strips there, and I'm going to cut myself another strip. So I'm going to do it about the same width. All the way down. Father was a builder, so anything that I do that is adding design to a building, I find really creative. So I'm now going to take this one and I'm going to put one in the middle. Some of this will be covered by the door. You'll see how the beach hut will come together very quickly. You don't have to have wood papers. It could be anything. Just thinking if I've got another. No, I need to cut myself another strip. And we're going to do something slightly different. I'm going to cut the whole strip this time. I need something to do the apex of the roof. So this would be a nice wider piece to do that. But instead, I'm going to take my fancy scissors and I'm going to have a scalloped edge to my beach hut. So I'm cutting one edge that's probably enough. Right. I'm going to go to the end. So all my bits I will keep with the wood paper ready for another go. Now I think I'm going to take this and I'm going to put a strip across. So I'm going to just mark that and cut that. And I'm going to put this bit across, so it's just going to emphasize the roof. So that's there. Now, this piece here, I want to do my side pieces on the roof. Now, the first one, you don't have to worry about what happens up this end, right? Because we're going to have it straight. It's the second piece that we put on that will have to be mitered, and there's a simple way of doing it. Once you can get your double-sided started. Nice clean edge to start. Right, so my straight edge goes onto here. So it's level with this piece coming down, and this piece I put right along the side of the apex of the roof. Now when we come down to here, I take my scissors and I cut the same angle as this upright. Now when we come to this bit here, if I was to put that there, we'd have a funny top to my roof. So I'm going to place that level with the apex down here, and I'm going to draw a line down to where it meets the other scallops. If I take that, I can now take that, place it up to the apex, get it right, and then come down the edge here, and again put this bit level so it's at the same 90-degree angle to that. So I've got a pretty roof on there. I'll keep that to one side. Right, we're going to bring in the door, and I'm going to place the door so that I've got a bit of the it's going to have a bit of the grey either side, but I think instead we'll go for the pale colour. Always be prepared to change your mind as you're designing your card. You're not trying to create something that somebody else has done. You're trying to create your card. Right, so I want a little bit of green each side, and there is my door. Now, if we have a look on here, if you remember, we cut one that was only part of a strip. So I'm going to use this next piece now, which is just a small portion. So nothing goes to waste. Now I want to do a little bit all around the door. Now, if you remember when we did this up here, we went edge to edge and cut it straight. It's these bits now that we need to mitre. So exactly the same way, we're putting the strip down, and then we're going to cut from corner to corner, lift up the extra, and you've got a beautifully mitred corner. Right, now this one, I've got the little dark edge there, so I'm going to put the dark edge on here, slide it up to there, and I can cut my mitre through there. Pull off the rest of the tape, and I've got two beautifully mitred corners up there. So there's my door, and you can go on adding whatever you want to make your door more authentic. So let's take that. When you think that this is just from scraps, it's lovely to know that you've created it. Okay, so it's fiddly getting the tape started. That's okay. There we go. And I think I'm just going to go across there, down to there. I'm just going to cut off that so it's totally natural. You can add brads for doorknobs. You can do all sorts. You can do a little porthole, but there is a very rustic beach hut. You could do lots of different coloured stripes, so you could have blue and white stripes. It doesn't have to be wood. You can do all sorts. So have a go at making your own washi tape, and then think of different ways that you can use it, and not just as straight lines to decorate your card. So washi tape of different widths piled up on top of one another. Washi tape to make your backgrounds, and also framework to go round toppers. 3 different sizes that are put side by side, but just cut from a piece of lovely patterned, I think this was scrapbook paper. Okay, and this one where we looked at picking up colours that were in a topper and just cutting random pieces of washi tape. Always remember to put your double-sided tape on the back, otherwise this is very difficult to get stuck down. Okay, but have a look at some of the scraps that you've got in your goodie box and play with a few ideas. Okay, but remember, next time we have a tutorial, we'll be looking at pressed flowers in card making, and say Easter is a good opportunity for an excuse to get out, have a walk, and pick up a few grass heads and things, and just pop them inside an old book so that they press flat and dry a little, ready for our next tutorial. Happy Easter to you all. God bless.